February is over a week in and bringing with it a dozen of new games every day, even more. Lots of new announcements, lots of free games to pick up on the Play Store. There's over 25 brand new games to pick up on your Android and iOS right this moment. First things first, revealed almost 6 years ago, with almost 1 million downloads now available globally as of last week. In case you missed it, we've got over here a pretty creative action RPG adventure. It's not only inspired, it's almost as equivalent of a Vampire the Masquerade game, except it's just in third-person view, and you actually fight your way in like classic turn-based fights. Like Final Fantasy, except like a fighting game feel in 2 dimensions. Here's a trailer. The game does support NFT, it's free and about 1 GB in total. With 1,000 downloads only. At number 2 we have here something called Moto Max Pro. It's an open world physics-based action adventure where you ride not just bikes but super advanced and futuristic bikes. We have the fancy to customize over 20 different bikes you've never possibly seen before and ride over different obstacles, finishing challenging missions. Free game, you can play it both online and offline, and takes you just over 150 megabytes in total. Moving on to number 3, not for all of you perhaps, but if you're looking for a farming vehicle management sim, we've got a good one just for you. Village Tractor Farming is the new work of a big team of just farming sim games, and their new attempt over here is an open world and size, realistic sim with on and off truck maneuvers. A free game over here, just as fine in visuals as Farming Simulator 2023, playable both on and offline. You definitely want to go offline though at some point. Moving on to number 4, we've got over here something called Eternal Heroes. It's a quick mention over here. The game is a collectible idle RPG with almost 100 unique different characters and super good looking boss fights. If you've ever enjoyed the AFK Arena or AFK based games, even the Raid Shadow Legends, but prefer them made in pixel art, you cannot go wrong with this one. It's easy, really good in designs, lots of different activities to offer, only 400 megabytes in size. Rated a 5 out of 5, over 50,000 downloads since just 2 days ago. Number 5, we have actually the finest game today in quality, going by the name Survivor Space Battle. It's a roguelike or rogue style survival bullet hell casual. Recently we've actually been getting a ton of these games, specifically like this one, but the Space Battle over here is easily the crown jewel of most, if not all. Really good graphics for its kind, and 80 megabytes in total. It's the smoothest game in replay and many different activities to keep you engaged for a long time. Rated a 4 out of 5, over 10,000 downloads since last week. Number 6, we've got here Sesame Street Mecha Builders. This game is a editor's choice by the Play Store itself, awarded one of the finest educational sim games that's been released recently. But technically that's because there haven't been a lot. Anyway, it's a free game, playable online, and besides the coloring part that you see, you gotta do math, engineering, and there's gonna be a lot of creativity. Free game over here, developers catching up with decent amount of updates and fixes, and the whole thing takes you less than 200 megabytes in total. It's a good game. Even though we have like 1,000 different car crash games or destruction sim games on the Play Store, I don't think we have specifically recently had one that's both on the Google and the Play Store at the same time. We get to do that with fancy sport cars. If that is something that you have specifically craved, you can go ahead and try this baby over here, going by the name simply Real Car Crash. It's a realistic vehicle combat, not really vehicle combat, racing and physics-based destruction sim with a decent amount of cars to keep you entertained for quite a while. Free game. SNK just translated their Fighting Masters into English and finally released it globally yesterday. It's already downloaded over 10,000 times, although rated at 3.1. The reason it's not even above 4 in rating It's just, the game is the same old idle RPG formula, simply just repeated once more. Other than that, if you haven't been playing an idle RPG recently, it's a very decent one, especially in action. It even brings together all of its in-case characters, not just the King of Fighters, but middles like FEBUARY and more. Rated as a number 4, awarded as a number 4 best free-to-play strategy game on the Play Store for the past week. Number 9, we've got Heroes of Mavia. As you can tell, it's a real-time strategy online game with cryptocurrency support, if that's something you just have to throw around a bit, which I don't recommend. It's a typical standard Clash of Clans formula, except you can trade, and it's a little maybe more creative and modern in looks. Free game over here, about 300 megabytes in total.
In the not-too-distant future, a dark force has taken over the Earth.
Moving on to number 10, we've got over here Cyber Realms, which is an action RPG open-world adventure. That's what developers stated. Simply put, it's a regular old free-to-play action RPG template that's pretty much 1 out of every 10 mobile game developer has been using to make an action RPG for the past 5 years. Except, the game does not have a Chinese or an Asian theme. It's actually a cyberpunk style with advanced enemies and boss fights. Free game over about 1.5 gigabytes in total, and if it's any consolation, I guess it's not entirely autoplay. Sitting on the Play Store for free for just a few more days. Number 11, we've got over here something called Dead Godland. Firstly, there's 2 versions of this game on the Play Store for a while now. The premium version of it, which is actually a $7 piece of mobile game, is right now free to download and play and offers more customization options and items. Anyway, the game is almost identical to the other survival strategy adventure game, Live or Die, which is actually from the same developers who made this one. I give this an 8 out of 10. Now, good enough is a dozen new games released just these past few days.
Get ready to raid. Explore and fight. Choose your champions.
Ready to fight. Train me to be stronger for our future. Idle RPG, girls fighting for dawn.